Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Ollie coming at you with a different kind of video today. We have F1 preview to the 2018 season. Basically, I'm just going to be talking about the teams, the drivers, the engines, reliability, testing most importantly, because let's face it, that's all we have in terms of predicting the performance for the season. The different regulation changes, obviously the biggest being that ugly halo that's meant to cover the driver's face from debris while driving their Formula 1 cars. But guys, if you do like this video, then please do press the like button. If you're new to the channel and want more F1 content, then subscribe. I will be doing another video which will be a review of the first 2018 Australian Grand Prix after the race, so please do look out for that. But apart from that, hope you guys do enjoy the video, and let's just get straight into it. So guys, kicking off with testing, Mercedes, you know, they've become a Red Bull. You know, Red Bull dominated the V8 era, starting with in 2009, Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber, Sebastian Vettel taking 4 out of 4 what's called Drivers' Championships, Red Bull taking 4 out of 4 Constructors' Championships, and now we are in the era of the Mercedes. 2014 to the date, they have won every championship. Hamilton winning 3, Rosberg winning 1, and as a team winning 4 out of 4. Is it going to be the 5th season? I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it, and it's an unpopular opinion. I do think, and it's early to say, this is a prediction, guys, just a prediction, so don't get too angry in the comments, but I do think Mercedes will get their 5th Constructors' Championship. I do think that Hamilton will get his 5th Drivers' Championship, cementing equaling 2nd place with Fangio, the Argentine 5-time World Championship. Just from testing, okay, one thing to take from testing: the times are not reliable. There's different fuel modes, there's different engine modes, different tires run, different programs, different race. Just, you know, there's just a whole lot. It's testing. Testing is testing. You can't take it. I think Ferrari in the last 4 years, I think they've been fastest in the last 3 testings. And how'd that go for them? Yeah, exactly. So it's not to be taken, you know, too seriously. But then again, we have to take into account reliability. Mercedes didn't break down once. They got the most mileage, 1,040 laps for the 2 drivers. Alright, that's a shitload of laps. That's 3/4 of the season mileage. They've done 75% of race mileage in a matter of, was it 8 days of testing over 2 weeks in Barcelona? Just incredible. And taking into account, you know, there was that snow in Barcelona that basically like written off, whatever, it wrote for a whole day. So and Mercedes was 7th fast, only 7th fastest on the ultra soft, the 2nd softest tires, I believe, just behind the hyper soft, which is introduced for the 2018 Formula 1 season. But yeah, here's a statistic for you actually. Only 20% of overall fastest laps from a 4-day test at Barcelona since 2008 have been set by eventual title winners. Only 20%. So another, you know, reason for not taking the timings too seriously. But yeah, I have said that I do think Mercedes will win. I do think they're going to be the most reliable over the season. So yeah, that's my first prediction: Hamilton for the championship, and Mercedes to be the best overall car again. Then we come on to the second, well, presumed second best team. They were definitely the second best team last year. There was a lot of hype last season about Ferrari, saying, oh yeah, you know, they got the best overall car in the race. Yeah, they're gonna win. And then, you know, they just, you know, capitulated towards the end of the season. You know, Singapore was the turning point. Obviously, I always thought that Mercedes would win it. I think it was a bit overhyped. I think people got a bit too excited just because, you know, we had 3 years of Mercedes dominance. They overhyped the Ferrari, thinking, oh yeah, you know, they're gonna do it. Yeah. No, they didn't. Alright, so just chill. Closest rivals to Ferrari, obviously Red Bull. A lot of people saying that Red Bull had a more solid testing compared to Ferrari. Obviously, Red Bull have got the Renault engines in the back of them, you know, under the brand Aston Martin, just because their relationship with Renault has turned a bit sour. Their sister team, Toro Rosso, Obviously recruiting Pierre Gasly and Brendan Hartley, the New Zealand lad. They've got Honda engines with McLaren abandoning Honda and going for the Renault engines. And well, if you're an F1 fan, you know what happened in testing. McLaren, 6 breakdowns for McLaren, alright? So Merc got 0. They stopped 0 times. Ferrari 0 times. Red Bull once. McLaren 6. Let's we got the Merc, they got Mercedes engines, no stoppages. Ferrari got Ferrari engines, no stoppages. Red Bull, Renault engines, they stopped once. McLaren, Renault engines, they stopped 6 times. That's an overall 7 for that power unit. And then we have, Honda in the Toro Rosso. So what, they stopped about 12 times? No, they stopped 0 times. One of them, a reliable engine, a shitload of mileage for the team. So have McLaren, stab themselves in the back. Or Red Bull gonna get Honda engines for the 2019 season if they do prove themselves. Obviously, it is testing. We have to wait until all the racing kicks off. But it is interesting to see because McLaren for the past few years have been dreadful. Alonso can't make a nice career choice to save his life. He was in the Renault 2005 championship, 2006 championship with the Renault. Goes 2007, gets beaten by rookie Lewis Hamilton in the McLaren Mercedes back then. 2008 goes back to Renault, and the Renault is just horrible. Goes to Ferrari, I think in 2009. Was it 2009 or 2010? I think it was 2009. Ferrari didn't win 2009, didn't win 2010, didn't win in 2011, didn't win in 2012, didn't win in 2013, didn't win in 2014. He made the bold choice to go to McLaren, their new project, Honda engines. It's going to be revolutionary, just like in the 80s with Senna. Honda, the greatest partnership arguably in the history of Formula 1. And what do Honda do? Their horsepower is just down on every single team. And I think, Alonso finished 17th in his first season with those Honda. Then finished, bit improvement, bit 10th place. And then I think he finished 15th last season. It's just been a horrible time for Fernando Alonso. Arguably the best driver on the grid. And it's just not great for him. So I really do hope he has a good season, because if he doesn't, I think he's off. I think he's packing his bags. He's going to go into some other series, explore his options. And to be honest, I don't blame him, because I think it's just a bit of a piss take, to be honest. It's funny, all that talking about Alonso, and I actually have an article right here that just came out 50 minutes ago. It's this quote: Australia will be lowest level, Alonso says, about McLaren. He says they're not on a level Ferrari, Red Bull or Mercedes, and that, excuse me guys, bloody hell, coughing giving me a bit of indigestion. But yeah, he says what will we see here will be important, yes, but we will be better and better. I expect in the second half of the season a very strong McLaren. You know what, like McLaren, the second most successful team in Formula 1, you expect them to hit the ground running. Yes, they didn't have a good testing, but I just don't know. I really hope they do perform. And I'm just going to shatter this myth. Everyone's saying, it's going to be a 4-way battle. I don't think it's going to be a 4-way battle, guys. I really don't. I think, like I said at the start, I think Mercedes will be ahead of Ferrari and Red Bull. Okay, this is going to be my prediction. I think it's going to be Mercedes first, Ferrari second, Red Bull third, McLaren fourth, Renault fifth, Force India sixth, Haas 7th, Toro Rosso Honda 8th, I'm going to say Williams 9th, and Sauber 10th. I do think it'll be Williams and Sauber at the back. But then again, these are just predictions. We just have to wait and see when the season starts. I think Valtteri Bottas has a big season ahead of him, just because obviously Mercedes have decided to renew his contract for one more season, and I think that's fair. He finished third in the championship behind Lewis Hamilton, behind Sebastian Vettel, but overall I think he had a decent first season. Coming into a new team is not easy at all, and he did deliver, I think, 3 wins, so it's not bad. But this is why I think it's going to be interesting. Okay, Bottas got 1 year left on his contract, okay. Ricciardo has 1 year left on his contract, and I think that's going to be a pivotal season for Ricciardo. Personally, I like both drivers in Red Bull. Verstappen, I think he is a talent. I said it. I still remember I still remember watching in 2014 Toro Rosso, thinking this guy is going to be talent. Comes into Formula One at 17 years old, and you could just tell that he's naturally gifted behind the wheel. And I do think overall, Verstappen is a better driver than Ricciardo. I think Verstappen probably is the future of Red Bull for now. I think it might be a Sebastian Vettel situation where he will stay in the Red Bull and then he'll move to either a top team, whatever top team in the future. But I think his future for now, let's say the next 3 years, will be at Red Bull. And then I think it'll either be, let's say, the 3 top teams in terms of money: Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren. I think whatever team is at the top, then I think he'll move to. But for now, it's Red Bull. With Ricciardo, I think it'll depend on how Red Bull perform this season. If Red Bull perform good, I think Red Bull want to keep him. I think he'll sign a contract extension. But if they don't, and he performs, his best, I think he could possibly move to Mercedes, with Bottas moving elsewhere. I don't know where Bottas would go, but I can imagine Ricciardo going to Mercedes, and then Red Bull being like, hold on, we need a driver. Who's still under contract under Red Bull, but it's on loan to Renault? Carlos Sainz. And I think that's when it might be, again, a pairing of Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen at Red Bull Racing. And this is the interesting thing. If Honda have a good engine this season with Toro Rosso, obviously Red Bull had a tricky situation last season trying to secure an engine supplier for the 2018 season. A really rocky relationship with Renault, and they had no choice to keep the Renault engines but under the branding Aston Martin. So if Honda perform well, I think Red Bull will be like, see you later Renault, we're going to end this relationship and we're going to get those Honda engines. If they do well, that's the big. I think they will be better than last season, just because McLaren are a giant in Formula 1. They expect big, and to be honest, I don't blame them. 3 seasons with Honda and they did not perform, but all of a sudden goes to Toro Rosso and testing's good. Like, what's going on there? A bit dodgy if I do say so myself. Guys, even though I would say I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. So even if Lewis Hamilton, moved to Ferrari next season, I would be supporting Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton. I think, everyone has kind of like their favorite team. But with Formula 1, I feel like it's not like football, you're not supporting a team, you're supporting a driver. So if a driver moves to a different team, you're going to be supporting that team along with the driver. So yeah, I do want Lewis Hamilton to do well, but that does not mean I do not want it to be a competitive season. I do want it to be. I would rather a 4-way battle between, Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Alonso, Van Dorn, even get Renault in the mix with Hülkenberg and Sainz. That would be the dream. If it was a 5-team battle, let's say there's only 8 attempts between the top 5 teams, I think that would attract so many viewers into Formula 1, because I think in recent years they have lost viewers just because of the Mercedes dominance and how predictable the race had become, and the qualifying last season was probably the least predictable of the 4 years, with Ferrari up in their game. But yeah, guys, I just hope we get a decent season. I hope it's close. If not, then, well, yeah, it's just gonna be a bit poo, innit? But guys, it's just been a bit of a ramble. Like, I'm just looking at the time, 13 minutes of rambling. I don't even know what I've said, but hopefully it comes out decent. And leave down in the comments. Put a comment, alright, down below. The predictions just for the season, general thoughts going into the season, and who's going to win the opener in the Australian Grand Prix. I'm going to just say, it might be biased, but I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton pole and Lewis Hamilton win. So, we'll see, we'll see what happens when I'm reviewing the race. I'm just so excited. I just want to get the first race done with, so I can evaluate the order, evaluate everything, even practice. I'm waking up early tomorrow. Obviously, I'm stationed here in the United Kingdom, so I'm gonna have to be waking up early to watch the Australian Grand Prix. But you know what, I can't wait. I'm just really excited by it. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, guys, then please press the like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. But as always, I've been Ollie. You guys have been fantastic. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and I'll see you on Sunday when I review the race. Peace!